Yay! It's live. Alright, y'all, so we are on episode 2 of Express Your Heart. And tell them who we're doing today.
Leonardo da Vinci.
One more time.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Da Vinci. So, the rules of this rad little game that we created is that we go... Well, last time we did 5, episode 1, we did 5 of the top pieces. So we'll do 5 art pieces, and we each have a minute. So here's our rad little clock right here, our timer. And I think we've decided that I'm going to go first every time.
Yes.
So I'm going to go first every time. We were playing paper, rock, scissors, but I think it's best. And that might change episode 3. But we get 1 minute. Now, we don't have to use the whole minute, but after the minute, we karate chop it, and we're done. So... Here we go. Now, I think we all know Mona Lisa, and so what we're doing is we're expressing, what's that word again with the D-O?
Well, we're giving our interpretation.
Right,
We're not docents whatsoever.
But we're just looking at what we're looking at, and we're just giving our interpretation. So, ready, set, go. Okay, so I see her. She looks very... clever. She looks very, very clever. She looks just clever. She looks witty. She looks like kind of mischievous. She looks like she's got something going on, almost as if there's more than one person in. Please don't do that ever again. It looks like there's more than one person besides the painter that's in there. So she's... Maybe she could be nervous, mischievous, curious. I think that's all I got. I think like maybe she wants to tell a joke or something. Maybe antsy. I just feel like she's not all that comfortable, or maybe she is. There's really not much going on to this, rather than I think her eyes and her face. I think the background looks like she's in just the woods or something. I mean, that one's tough because it's so popular. Okay, time up. Okay, your turn. Now
I do need to scroll because I want to see the full painting. And
okay.
She has her arms crossed,
okay.
So there's more to the painting than just...
Okay, so I guess you could touch it if you want to, but when we first got to start, we got to make sure we do the top line so they can see it. Mm-hmm. And then if you want, you can go like that, but then say we're going to go to number 2, then we got to go here, okay? But then you can touch it again. So, Lana's turn. Here we go. Let me get the clock. And... let me know when you're ready.
I'm
1 minute.
ready.
Ready, set, go.
So I've seen the Mona Lisa several times. And I'm always impressed because it's much smaller in person. And because I expected something bigger the first time I saw it. She's got a veil over her head. It's very subtle, and when you look at her, you probably don't see it as much, and her eyes do draw you in. There's a softness, a mischievous, a curious side to her. She has her right hand over her left, which in a way tells me that she's a little bit controlled because she has her hands crossed, and because her hands are crossed down below, there's this fear of loss of personal power, of vulnerability, and I could say we as women, we're afraid of getting hurt, and it looks like she's looking onward, like there's a little bit off on her left side that when I'm looking at her.
1 minute. Sorry.
You never hit it.
I never hit it?
No, you didn't.
Oh. We're getting a little testy today. It took us like 8 times to get this going. So, do you think you win a minute? Or do you want to start over?
I don't think I will. But it's okay. I'm good.
Okay. Boom. Alright. I really couldn't listen because I was trying to do this. Kelly Bonavito, please share this in our group. And Radiculously Rawthentic, because I just got blocked from groups because we've been doing watch parties. And now my account is totally blocked from groups. So, if you could share that in a group, that'd be super rad. Now, let me do this, and we're going to go to number 2.
Do we have something to read?
Yeah, actually, you go ahead and read this, so you can read what it originally means.
The Mona Lisa del Gioconda is probably the most well-known painting of all kinds. For centuries, art lovers have been mesmerized by questions about the subject's state of mind. Countless debates and studies have turned up a whole host of competing theories as to the meaning of the piece. What do you think about the Mona Lisa?
Cool, yeah. What do you think in the comment section below? Alright, so the second one. Let's see. Alright, so this is The Last Supper. And I think we can make this one bigger by clicking that. Let's see, I don't even know if that's even going to work. Let's see. Boom, it kind of works, not really. I don't even really care at this point. Let's go ahead and just do this one right here. Where was it at? I don't even know how to close this. Okay, so The Last Supper, here I go. Boom. It looks like, well, a lot of opinions are going around, a lot of division. Looks like a lot of politics. It doesn't look like anyone is eating. Just looks like a lot of division and a lot of gossip going on. That's all I need. Stop. And I had 36 seconds left.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because Jesus was well revered,
Wait. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
So Jesus is at the center point here. So the Last Supper. The thing is that because Jesus was arrested prior to his crucifixion, this was him coming together with all of his apostles, and also Mary Magdalene is to his left. And so there's a lot of speculation in history that Jesus was the Son of God, and that Jesus was never married. And then there's, some history saying that he was actually married to Mary Magdalene. And it's a fascinating subject. I see this as a, is there possibility, can we find ways to reverse what's about to happen? The apostles speaking amongst themselves, but also honoring and letting Jesus be the center, because this is about Jesus, and this is about their devotion and dedication to him, and as which the apostles were. So that's my interpretation for here. It is the Last Supper. They're just getting together to try to celebrate and be present.
Boom, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've never even seen
go deeper.
any of that. All right, cool. So we lost our photo, but now our photo is back, our video. So now read. You weren't reading it yet, were you? Was that your interpretation? But
I've seen it in person as well.
Oh, the real one?
The real one is in Milano, in a place. It's actually a church that it's in. And it's quite fascinating. It was renovated, restored, not long ago.
Milano. Okay, so this is probably one of the most famous paintings ever.
Yeah. So it says The Last Supper is one of the most famous paintings in all art history. A prodigious masterpiece of human drama, people have always been fascinated by the expressions of the disciples and curious about the triangular space between Jesus as he leans away from one of his companions. As Jesus foretells his arrest and execution, he appears isolated, while the rest of the party are animated with excitement.
Boom. See, it kind of stinks because when I'm doing all this and I did mine, it's hard for me to listen, but I can go back and listen to what you said. That's really so.
Because there's more in it than just what we, a minute's a lot, not a lot too.
But do you think that's what makes it good? Makes it fun?
Well, I mean, we did go a little bit over last time. So.
Okay, so here's the Adoration of Maggie. Here we go. Boom. All right, so this looks like everybody's dying. Maybe everybody's got the measles, the pox, or something. There's a baby that people are praising, or maybe afraid of. Maybe the baby is the only one that can't get sick. They're really highlighting the woman that's holding the baby, and then the person that's kissing the baby's he's handing the baby something. And then in the background, it just looks like a dark, evil thing where there's a lot of fear and just fear. There's a lot of fear in that painting to me. Okay, done. All right, I had 15 seconds. Now we're going to reset it. This is the Adoration of Maggie. I'm a little bit in a better mood because we tried this for a half hour and it didn't work. That's why I was a little cray-cray in the beginning, but now I'm a little bit more exciting, so we'll probably do 10. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Set. 1 minute. The Adoration of Maggie. Go.
The Adoration of the Magi. Now, being Catholic raised, I know that this is the Magi was the child of God, was Jesus. And so this is Mary holding the Magi, the baby Jesus. And all of these people are disciples who are aware that this is the Son of God that has been born. So they're down, they're actually they're praising, they're honoring, they're giving gifts, they are bowing. In the background, there's a lot of stuff going on. There is the uprising around, because there was the foretelling of the Magi, the coming of Christ, for much of the time. And so this caused a lot of fear and frustration and anxiety amongst people who were fearful of loss of power, but also uncertain of how that would impact.
You hit it right at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Good. See, I can't pay attention. I'm going to have to watch this.
That's good.
But you know what I can pay attention is when you read it.
Okay.
Okay, so now this is... Now, whoever's writing this, is this his version or somebody else's interpretation when they do this?
I'm not 100% sure who wrote this, so I'm not sure.
Read it and let's see.
It's very general. It doesn't actually tell you anything about the painting. It just tells you Leonardo was commissioned to paint the Adoration in 1480 for the altar at the San Donato Monastery near Florence. He set himself 30 months to finish the work, but he never actually completed it, as events saw him to move to Milan within a year. And that makes so much sense. So I didn't know that, but this painting, when you look at it, as you look at this, you notice there's all of this vagueness. There's like, this is the unfinished. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of cool too, because you can see down the strip of the center is where there's the most color, and it's still faded out. Like, he did not have a chance to finish this. He anticipated 30 months, but he didn't finish it, and you can see that in the fact that they're incompletely drawn and painted, and it's unfinished.
Got you. Laura says, in the corners of the pieces you can find numbers, and they add up and tell stories. He's wild, like you have to pay attention.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
There's a lot of cool history.
She says, love Leonardo. He used to use a lot of numerology. Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we're going to go to... Do you guys hear those horns? There's some... what we call it, a protest?
Yeah, there's a protest on the corner of the street up there.
Okay, so this one... So this... Leonardo, this dude was really religious, huh?
He was commissioned for a lot of religious art.
Okay, so this is Baptist of Christ. That's about as religious as you can get,
the
right?
Baptism? Yes.
The baptism of Christ. So I already kind of know, so it's the baptism of Christ. Okay, so how do we interpret this? Let's go. Ready, 1 minute, ready, set, go. The Baptist of Christ, those two ladies, the lady closest, that I don't know if that guy's name is Jesus or Jesus, but I think he just baboofaed by the girl right next to him, and the one next to her is like cool with it. The other girl is maybe, I don't know, his girlfriend, maybe she's a carpenter or something, and there's a bird in the top, and she's putting him, like naming him the Baboofa King, and then there's some rocks back there. It looks like they're in Egypt, and like the son or the father of Jesus is gonna put like a little bird on his head coming from the top there. That's all I got. That one's a little difficult because it's these baptized of Christ is kind of giveaway. That's all I got.
So the I'm playing. I'm just trying to see.
I
like to see the whole picture. He doesn't like it when I touch things.
No, we got to go by the minute. All right. Ready, set, go.
There's a lot of symbolism in this, actually. So you have these two angels off to the left corner over here, and they're looking up in adoration. You also have, and I don't know who this is off to the side. It could be one of the saints or the archangels. They don't actually have wings, but the influence of these halos in a lot of pictures were indicative of revered and higher, let's say, masters or ascended masters, or people that were looked upon as like Jesus, within the direct line of God. And so here it looks and appears that he's actually being baptized by the Holy Father, the Spirit. You've got the dove coming down and shining the rays of light. He's just in that space. They covered him and cloaked him. There's a lot of paintings and art and sculptures that were nude, but because of religion, they covered all their body parts.
That's not part of the rules. That was really good.
I can finish.
Okay, now read what it is.
Leonardo excelled at religious paintings, particularly those that illustrated scenes from the New Testament. Here we find the moment where Jesus was first announced himself to the world as he was baptized by the prophet John.
Okay, so I have a new rule. I would do better at this if I didn't know the name of the painting. Because it's already going to warp your interpretation if you know the name of the painting.
Maybe.
I just want to look at what I'm looking at. I didn't want to know that it was Jesus. I didn't want to be baptized, so then I can say it. Then I can do it. So like this. And I know these are probably really popular. I don't know any of this stuff. This is all new. So like this. See, now look, right? And I don't want to know the name. This, right? Ooh, this is a long one. It's a long. Oh, something about London. So right here. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So here we go. This one's. Have you seen this painting before?
I don't recall. I think I probably have.
Okay. I don't know why. Why isn't this as fun as it was yesterday? Maybe it's because it took so long to get this and I'm a little bit frustrated. Here we go. 1 minute, set, go. Okay. Man, it looks like the two babies are the ones that are in control and they're the little geniuses and they're the ones that's running the whole show. And they're contemplating on whether to... I don't know where to go, and that one is an angel, and I don't know if that other one's the angel. Maybe they're deciding if they want to go with the angels, do that little cave where that water is to go get a little thirsty. It looks like that little robe on her in the tummy was where one of the little babies were, but it looks like the babies are running stuff, especially the one on the bottom. The one at the bottom is the one that's in charge. He's the one in charge of that whole cave tribe right there. That's it.
I'm going for the name.
Okay, so the name is what?
Virgin of the
Virgin
Rocks.
of the Rocks.
Apparently it must be in London. Okay, so when you're ready.
One minute for Miss Lana. Set, go!
So very often, you hear these stories of the angels appeared to Mary to let her know she was pregnant with the Son of God. And so I'm watching this and looking, and I got a different interpretation all of a sudden. And where the baby has the two fingers, and the two fingers were like what were used for the sign of the cross. If you're religious, you understand the two fingers are kind of like an appointment type finger. Like the two fingers are like, you are blessed, you know, whatever is coming after those two fingers is to indicate. If she is a virgin, these babies are appearing to let her know you will be having a child. And so maybe this is the child she will have. What did you reset? What did you do?
I don't know, but
You've been hitting buttons.
I don't know. So we're good. Are you done?
I'm good.
Cool. Okay. So now read it.
There are two versions of the Virgin of the Rocks to be found in Europe, one in Paris, the other in London. Each share the same scene of the two infant relatives, Jesus and John the Baptist, and their mothers seated in a rocky surrounding.
So he painted two?
That's what it says.
Interesting. Dude is super religious.
He was commissioned to draw.
So that's all he did?
No. In fact, he was an inventor as well.
But he's really one of the most famous artists, and he worked for.
That's how he made his money. So when you're commissioned, that's how you make your money back then.
Right. So, but it's
and a lot of them didn't get paid from the church, by the way, either.
That must be the second one.
That's my guess.
We're not doing this one because that's the second one. Let's see. Scroll down.
That was the Louvre.
So that's the
one
second
in Paris.
version,
Yes.
right? So the only thing that's different is, wow, that's actually pretty impressive to see those two different versions because he actually painted that, right?
I like the second version better, personally.
This one?
Yes.
Me too.
Because there's more vibrance and color. This one's more demure. It's more blue, dark.
Don't use words you can't spell.
D-E-M-E-Y-E.
Very, very cool. Yeah, okay, cool. So, we'll just keep going. This one, I don't know this one. Okay. So I saw Madonna. Man, see, it's the same thing, kind of. It's a baby and a girl and a mom. It's a mom and a baby in like, and you know that's like in a church or something, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
What's your interpretation?
Yeah, I'm gonna
pass.
No, I'm gonna pass because they're all the same to me. It's the same concept. So to me that's boring. So, but I'll let you go. Have you seen this one before?
No, I've never seen this one.
Okay, cool. Ready?
Go for it.
1 minute. Lana, go.
So this is obviously mother and child. It is called the Madonna of the Carnation. Madonna, my lady. There's this beautiful scene behind her, actually, outside of what appears to be in her home, palace, villa, whatever she is. The mountain scene is absolutely stunning behind her. And she's got a carnation in her hand that the baby is reaching for. So the Madonna, the mother of the carnation, the flower. And so also, it's kind of interesting the way that her materials on her clothing are very soft, and the baby is just, cush and plush with mom, just wanting to reach out and touch that flower, and she's holding it delicately and observing the wonder of that child, because the beauty of children is that everything is new and it's awesome. So she's seeing it through a different set of eyes, and that's through the baby's eyes.
Wow, you did that exactly in 1 minute. Okay, so let's read it.
So this says the Virgin Mary was and still remains a person of tremendous importance to Catholic Christians. You're going to love this one. Particularly when juxtaposed with her son Jesus. In this moving scene, Mary stands shoulders above her environment as the apex of a triangle formation symbolic of the Holy Trinity.
Okay, so wait, so that's supposed to be Jesus as a baby?
Apparently.
Okay, so you know what I think is going on right here? Is for let's just say right now, the most amazing artists, when you go producers, executive producers, artists, filmographers, videographers, big brands hire them to tell their story. It seems to me when religion was really ruled with an iron fist, where they were number one on the food chain, they commissioned artists to tell the story because they're the best storytellers. So it's just one giant story that he is telling. And also, this is a lot different than the other artist that we saw yesterday. Who's the other artist?
Picasso.
Yeah, because
yes.
Picasso was
Different
way
time
more.
period.
This is more I get storytelling. So he's telling a story what everybody else is telling him to tell, but he's doing it in a visual way. But this is more fake but real, if that makes sense. The other one was more abstract, type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Totally different time periods and genres of art. The other thing to point out is that we say commission, but in reality, these artists of the time, during religious iron fist, as you called it, were really enslaved. They weren't actually paid. Most of them were withheld their money. They had to do other things to get by. Michelangelo is another great example, as well as Raphael, on top of Leonardo da Vinci. And it's amazing that they did all this work, and of course didn't get all of the credit until much, much later after their deaths.
Very interesting. Okay, let's see the next one.
I've seen this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I'm having a hard time right now.
Just look at the painting.
Well, I know because it's not. I don't think. Well, see, I gotta trick myself, and I'm really not in the best of place right now. I'm having a hard time because I already know this is a religious one.
Or is it?
I don't know. See, my interpretation. So maybe I have to
tap into.
Well, here's the thing, because now it's I'm trying to. So I have to fake myself out that I don't know what artist did this. I don't know if the artist kept doing this, because I already know this artist is where he's at, and he keeps telling the story of this story that everybody's wanting to tell them for religion. So now I have to fake myself out, not knowing that this. So I'm just going to reset, and I'm going to act like I just see it.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
So that will help me, because then I'll play that way. Okay, so here we go. Ready? 1 minute, set, go. Okay, this guy or gal looks like they just ate like a super rad Whopper and cheese and just got home, and their favorite show, Game of Thrones, is about ready to start in 5 minutes, so he's got a full tummy, but he stank because he or she was in the construction field all day long, got that Whopper in the tummy, and knows that Game of Thrones is going to be ready in 5 minutes. So he knows that he's got 5 minutes to go take a shower and put that body soap on him, right? And get the little Fresh and So Clean on the Weird Al hair. Then he can get dry and then do the towel zestfully clean on his back. Ninja flip into the banana splits on the sofa with a full tummy of Yummy Nastiness Whopper to watch Game of Thrones. So much easier if I trick myself. Because there's no limitations. That's what I'm saying. If I don't have limitations, I can play that way. But when you know the artist, when you know he was enslaved, when you know he's telling a true or untrue religious story, it doesn't make it so fun. Okay. So here's another thing. So when people do this, they already. This is why this is so cool, because people that do this, what we're doing, like as a thing, like winos, and they do the thing, they already have studied this and studied this and studied this. And so realistically, if it's already been written what the artist interpretation is, they're really just regurgitating a story that someone told them. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're just a messenger of retelling the same story, a story that may or may not be true. So that's why what I'm doing is because I don't know nothing about any of this, and it's way more fun just to be like, yo, this is what I think.
And that's the only way to do it. And that's what art is about.
And do you think, because you're getting, you know me a little bit, do you think it's best that I don't even try to retain what it really is and I just stick what I think that is?
Really, yeah, totally. Just look at the art. Just don't be distracted by the stuff. Because even still, without knowing the title or knowing the title for me, I can look at that painting. And this is where I think
do you want to go, or we're just talking?
No, we're just talking. In your case, personally, because I do know you can get caught up in the rules of how you think you need to have, this formed in front of you.
No, it's the complete opposite. I don't want those rules.
No, you've got the rules in your head that your head says, I need to trick myself now and not think about that.
Well, because
that's what I mean. You go kind of vacillating between the attachments.
Vaseline. Listen. I think it's opposite, though, because I don't want any rules and I don't want any boundaries when I do this. But the people that are doing this, what we're doing, they're the ones with the rules.
But that's what I'm talking about. You're fixated on those rules.
Right. So when I say I'm going to reset, I have to keep thinking. I have to keep saying that I'm expressing and doing my interpretation. But if I don't say what I said, I feel like I'm being fake, because if I don't trick myself, I already know that this is a religious story, right? So if I say, okay, I'm going to trick myself, right? I'm going to trick myself and don't act, so then I wipe it clean, wipe the hard drive clean, and then go.
Well, the cool thing about Leonardo da Vinci, just intuitively that I sensed, is he had very much resistance to doing what he did.
Yeah, he's probably a genius. I mean, his is genius, but he was paid to spread propaganda through his talent.
But the thing is and I know Laura would say this too, that the irony being that through what he did, there are hints of his humor and also his animosity is kind of a word, but not so much in the sense that, yeah, he's got a little smirk in this picture. I mean, I can go off this picture and see Leonardo just playing on, what he might have been told, but what's really going on in the picture is even deeper, that, he did what he was told.
Do you know anything about this painting?
No.
Okay, ready, set, go.
St. John the Baptist. So, it's been a long time since I've been involved in my, Catholic upbringing. I went to religious classes in school and up until 4th grade and went to church with my grandmother. John the Baptist. I know I've seen this in person. I don't know all that other stuff. To me, I see Leonardo has a little bit of a like, I know what's going on behind the scenes smile in this photo, this picture. This painting, to me, is almost like it has a soft feminine appeal to it, even though it's a man. And so it seems to me balanced between masculine and feminine. Like a man in his full capacity of being masculine and feminine without there being an interpretation that he's a man or a woman. And the finger is just, you know what? It just is. It just is. To me, it's
I love
there's
you
no
so much.
there's no need to interpret
Okay,
beyond.
let's one minute. I
It's
love
beautiful.
you so much. Now I'm actually excited for you to read what it really means, because who knows?
So,
Oh, these are old.
yes.
These are way older than the ninja
Yes.
artists before.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
But 1,500 years, he's still telling the story of the religion, right?
Painted between the years of 1513 and 1516, many experts are convinced that this was actually Leonardo's final painting. Pay attention to the cherub-like face of St. John the Baptist pointing to the cross, which illustrates the promise of the kingdom of God, an idea that resonated profoundly during the time when Leonardo lived.
Okay,
Go for it.
that's cool. I mean, now, if you look at it as art, like he really painted that on a canvas 500 years ago with paint. That's amazing, because if you look, and I can't even chicken scratch. I can't even do cursive. I mean, I'm really, if I don't have a computer, I can't do it. It's amazing how, I guess you could call it a gradient, how the darks he does from the bottom all the way up, and he slowly does it, and then he makes it pop like a highlight, like where you do Snapseed on a facial thing with the clear. I mean, as an artist, he's amazing, right? But I feel like he's still being told what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's what you feel from the painting, and that's the beauty.
Well, no, because he's commissioned and he's telling the story. Like, I can't wait now to see this. Why I like doing this, because when we're done 1 through 10, I want to go see his own stuff that he got to do when he was, sketching, when he was, taking a number 2, or like when he wasn't in getting a paycheck from them. I want to know what he would do by himself without any of this.
I think we'll have to do one where we do just some of his inventions.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so this next one is... This has got to be another religious one, huh? See, I gotta trick myself. See, I almost went. I gotta trick myself. All right, so here we go. We're gonna reset. All right, so I'm kind of cheating because I'm thinking here. You know what? I don't want to do this one. You ready? You can do this one? Okay, have you seen this painting before?
I don't think so.
Okay. Ready? Set, go.
So the beauty of a mother with their child is, again, seeing through the eyes of a child, the innocence, which is what the symbolism of the lamb is that, a child sees things with new eyes, not marred or impressed upon what it should think or see, but just, wow, touch, taste, feel, hear, see. The beauty, again, it's the richness, the senses engaged fully with young children, with infants and babies. They're sensitized, they're sensitive. And so there is no, you're supposed to feel this or that. And this is what's beautiful, is she's looking down at this child, and then this other woman is also looking down and watching this engagement of mother and child and this baby lamb. And mom, look at this soft creature is another being, and it's a baby, and it's like me, but it's a different form.
That was cool. Okay, right in a minute too. All right, now let's read what it is. Are you...
The Virgin and Child with Saint Anne.
Okay,
so Saint Anne.
Can I say something? How come they always got to put virgin on something when it comes to religion?
I don't think that's going to change if it happened 1,500 plus years.
No, I know, but
whatever.
Is the definition of virgin the same as it is now as then? That you have not had sex? Because now you got Virgin Anne, you got Virgin Mary. Why are they doing that?
Because they were religious figures. And so, again, there was this whole puritanical mentality that religious figures were they were without sin, which sin was considered of the flesh, and
so you're born a sinner.
Oh yeah, that's the irony.
Dude, that's corrupt. You're born. That means religion just wanted to control every single human. You're born a sinner.
This is the way that it was used to control the populace back then. It's not to say that that is the overall.
But that's the story.
But
they had to evolve because people were like, no way, Jose, we don't want to play this game.
Of course. As does society and cultures and wars. This is why wars are fought, because people trying to exert their control and power over others to believe and do as they want them to do. And so again, it just is from that time period, and that's where you also have to remind yourself this is not present time, and you can't take the present and impose it upon the fact. Can. In the sense that from history you learn, not from history you repeat.
Okay, let's read it.
Okay, so Saint Anne is also the patron saint of the lamb, of the shepherd herding. Found in France's world-famous Louvre gallery, the Virgin and Child with Saint Anne was painted in the year 1510. Notice the infant Jesus' preoccupation with the little lamb, a long-time symbol of the passion that Christ was destined to undergo on the cross along the time of the paschal sacrifices. So the lamb, we know it in religion to be when someone is sacrificed, a sacrificial lamb. The lamb, they used to give offerings of a lamb on an altar to God. And so Jesus was that form of a lamb when he was crucified on.
Okay, so this is Jesus again?
Apparently, according to the description.
Right, and virgin, they just hyphenate that when really it's Virgin Mary. Because virgin, that should be Virgin Mary, because that's Jesus.
Correct.
So I bet you Virgin Mary is the one at the top, not the one. I wonder which one is reaching out to Jesus.
That would be, in my impression, that would be Virgin Mary.
Because that looks like the same one in the painting with that, similar to that. See? Mm-hmm. Doesn't she look similar compared to that one? She's got way different facial, right? So I think Anne's the one that's sitting upright.
Yes, that's my interpretation as well.
What do you know about this? So when he does this, right, for the church, is it like a mass event, you think, where they're gonna have he's gonna present it to the thing, and then they just cherish it? Was he that celebrated?
I don't know how celebrated unveilings of paintings were back then, because that was so long ago, and I haven't done history or looked it up. But maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe they just took it upon and they just put it up on a wall. You just never know. I really don't know.
Okay.
Well, that looks different.
Okay, so, wow. So I already know who that is.
You do?
Yeah, that's Virgin Mary.
Maybe it is.
With the sheep that she's gonna give, or a weasel, or that's a weasel. See, here's the thing. This is why I have to keep tricking myself, because I know this is religion, and I don't want to. I feel like if I give my full thing, if I just saw that, I think that's. I mean, I can get really creative with
this.
What
if it isn't?
But I know that's Virgin Mary, and that's one of those little what's those things that you gotta.
It looks like a ferret to me.
A ferret, yeah. I bought Jordan one, and they stink. You gotta de-seed them or whatever. Yeah, so I'm gonna pass on this one because I just don't. So
I'm going to check it out. Lady with an Airman.
Airman. Okay, so you can go on this one too.
So
ready, set, go.
This is, to me, is totally not related to religion. I think he was just commissioned to do a portrait of this particular woman with her ferret, or I don't know what an airman is. I'm guessing it's a ferret. And she's clearly a woman of nobility, because she has this velvet, beautiful attire on. She has the pearls of the necklace around her neck. She has a veil, and also all this fancy accessories on. She just looks like she's looking off to the side, like she's shy that she doesn't want to look directly at the artist. And it's kind of funny. I think she keeps the pet close to her just in case, so that she has something to barricade herself, so that she's not maybe maybe she thinks it keeps others from wanting to approach or touch her. I think she has put that ferret in front of her to kind of keep people at a distance.
Cool. Okay, now I'm interested in, like, when I don't do them and I do a hard skip and I don't play, it's easier for me to listen to what you're saying. So now let's read what it is.
Considered one of Europe's most important portraits of all time, it's believed that the subject is none other than Cecilia Gallerani, mistress of the powerful Duke of Milan, Ludovico Sforza, Leonardo's one-time patron.
A duke is what? Like another wizard in religion? Like under a priest or something?
No. Dukes are actually nobility within the...
But they're still in church?
No.
A duke?
Well, I mean, there was some relation, but not like a duke has nothing to do with a religious title. A duke is like
more like a
and
king
a
and queen.
Yes.
A duke is like
when
a
you come under
prince, duke.
Yes.
Like in chess.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see another one.
He did a lot of portraiture.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess here's the thing. So I've never paid attention to any of this ever. So I can already say that this is not my type of art, because I'm gonna skip this one too.
Okay.
So do people, like, here's the thing, like with music though, I've never really got into music. I've always just like listened to what my dad listened. That's why I love Journey. That's why I love Chicago, the Eagles, you know, that type of stuff. But I've never really dissected it. So, but for music, for me, I've never really said, I don't like that music. But when it comes to this, like if I could play this, I wouldn't play this.
I get it.
But I play rap, reggae, you know, punk rock. But this I would not even like.
Well, you don't have to waste your brain juice. You don't even have to go there. I totally get it. Now hit start and I'll do it.
Okay, ready, set, go.
So here's the irony for myself. This one is the portrait of Ginevra de Vinci. And, you know, like, I totally get why, because there's a lot of art that when I'm in a gallery, I can look at it and appreciate the work and the detail, because I know what it takes to be an artist with paints and everything. And to get these colors right, even as what may appear to be very, okay, or whatever your interpretation is, it takes serious work to get just the subtlest details.
Yeah,
and so I would probably bypass this in the gallery myself, and mostly because it's okay, but it doesn't draw me in. It actually makes me sad for her as the subject, because she looks very sullen, very lacking a little bit of life. There's some blue in the distance, but she seems sad herself in that picture. Like she's not living fully and her life is not fulfilling.
Cool. Before you read that, I think that painting, technique-wise, if you want to call it, technique-wise, is the best of the ones we've seen.
It's unbelievable.
Like, but then we've already seen The Last Supper with Mona Lisa. That one, it almost looks like it could be CGI. Because how good he did. Like, look at that. I think technique-wise, this is probably one of his, he really got into the flow on this, or maybe he was trying new things. Like, I think he had more free reign on this one.
So we'll read it. Owned by the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., this enigmatic portrait is actually the only painting by Leonardo that currently resides in the United States. The sulky Ginevra strikes a rather haughty pose in this beautiful example of Leonardo's portraiture skills.
Yeah.
Sulky. She does not look happy, just like I said.
He definitely had some portrait skills back then.
That was it.
That was it.
10.
Oh, cool. That was fast, huh? Cool.
It was about an hour.
Thank you for playing. That was a little tough start just because we had a hard time getting in there. And then I got blocked from groups. Like, I'm probably going to be blocked in groups for 2 weeks or whatever. But that was cool. And we actually did this one because we had a member that actually paints portraits on rocks, right?
The stones, yeah. That's beautiful.
Cool, y'all. Well, thank you for joining us. We will definitely keep these episodes going. They are fun. I think I want to choose an abstract one next time. I don't think I would be able to do 2 of this style back to back. Maybe I could. I mean, I had to pass.
You can.
Right? Do people do that?
You might have been in a different mood if things went fast. If you got it to work, everything.
Well, no. Just the fact that See, I think the less I know in the get-go, the better. But when we read them, like, look, when we went to number 1, 2, and 3, when I start reading them, that it's about religion and he's being paid to tell a story and all this stuff. And then it kept going, and Virgin Mary and Jesus' baby. Then I'm starting to know. So it's hard to not be influenced by like what the real agenda is here.
Well, and the irony is you don't really know the true story, so you're not influenced in that respect. You just, what I sense with you is there's that resistance to the whole religious imposition and art.
No, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I actually think this is me growing and realizing that I think I like the abstract stuff more than this. I'm not dissing this. That's why I passed on a couple. Because I'm not dissing it. I'm just like,
there's some beautiful art from that time period. It's just, what we're looking at. Leonardo da Vinci has amazing art that is not religiously based, and some of it that's scientifically based. Like, he has
I would like to check that out.
And see, here's where maybe I should choose the next one then.
Well, okay, cool.
Because
let's just do Da Vinci Scientific.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really rad, because I've been to several museums where they have his inventions, they have his scientific sketches and everything.
Oh, I would love to see that.
And I even have, although not here, I have some stuff that is Da Vinci that is very unknown, a little less known, if anything. So.
Cool. All right, y'all. This was episode 2 of Express Your Heart. Thank you all. Keep it raw. Stay rad. What?